Welcome to Basic Brewing Video. I'm James Spencer.
I'm Steve Wilkes.
Well, here we are. About a month ago, we brewed up a small batch clone of New Albion Ale, which
That's
is brewed by Sam Adams, the Sam Adams people. And we showed you step by step how to do it. We challenged you to do it. Did you do it? I got email from people.
Some people
we got
did.
Facebook posts and Twitters and whatever.
Twitters?
Tweets.
I got Twitters.
I got Twitters. People out there have either done the small batch or they've done a 5-gallon batch.
Yeah.
And so make a comment either here on the YouTube video or on our Facebook page at facebook.com/Basic Brewing.
All one word.
But what we're going to do now is we're going to taste ours.
So we've got the commercial version and we've got our clone.
Right.
I can state the obvious better than anybody. I'm so good at it. That's why
You
I'm on the
are
show.
right.
You're right, sir.
Clone breath.
Soon to be.
That's right. Literally. If we were efficient, I would help you pour, but we're not.
We're not.
And these are bigger than regular shaker glasses or pint glasses. Okay, so this is the store-bought. I'll put it over here.
Store-bought. You're from the South, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
It's store-bought.
Store-bought.
I eat that store-bought bread.
Okay. And this is on the left, is ours. On the right. Oh, okay. The store-bought is a little darker, tiny bit.
Yes, it is.
A few shades darker. Mm-hmm. Both appear to be fairly well carbonated.
Yeah, about the same level of carbonation. Yeah, I'm really surprised there's that much difference in the color.
Maybe they boiled more vigorously or for a longer time. Now we used different yeast. We used a US-05, the American ale yeast, and they used an English yeast.
Wow. Riveting, isn't it?
I'm very familiar with this by now. Now, let's taste ours.
Okay.
It's fairly similar, don't you think?
Boy, it sure is.
It's pretty close.
That's really close.
Now, I think mine, or the one that we made, maybe a little younger, so the hops maybe a little more, teeny more prominent, maybe. There's a little bit more citrusy stuff going on.
I think ours is a little more citrusy, yes. The Sam Adams version is a little more floral. Does that descriptor work?
Both are tasty.
This beer is,
The commercial.
the commercial beer is soft. The palate is very soft to me. I think ours has a little more bite.
Maybe.
Or no, I take that back. They're so close together, it's unreal. Even though the color is, the biggest difference is the color. This is just a darker appearing beer. I didn't really check out the bouquet. Bouquet, we call it.
Smell, we call it.
Smell. Down below the Arkansas River, we call it the smell.
The smell. Now, yeah, very close. Theirs is a little more clear, probably because they filtered it, but pretty tasty. For a 6-pack batch, I mean, if you don't think you can get a good tasting beer out of doing a small batch like that, you're wrong, doggone it.
Boy, no kidding. I mean, I tell you,
Very good.
boy, if you had poured me that beer and told me that was it, I wouldn't have known that it was a home version of it.
I think we came pretty close on the bitterness.
Very close.
The gravity, I think, theirs is a little higher gravity, I think, than what ours was. Does it say the ABV on the bottle? I didn't figure the ABV, but we started at, we came in a little low on our starting gravity, 1049, and finished at Oh, I forgot. See, the good thing about the logbook is you can note that you forgot to take the, the final gravity reading.
Well, the good folks at Sam Adams didn't forget. This is 6 ABV.
Oh, okay. So theirs is a bit higher in alcohol, probably.
Yeah.
But darn close.
Boy, you couldn't tell it by me that there's any difference between these beers with my eyes shut.
Now, I'm looking forward to reading what you guys have come up with on yours, your clone attempt. But I'm real pleased with that. I think that came out really well.
Well, it did.
Now, we have another one ready to go, already in the fermenter.
I'm ready. Let's lay it on me.
Yes, Steve and I couldn't coordinate to get the brewing together. But what I wanted to do was this is a single malt and single hop beer. So what I wanted to do was to change it a little bit, do a scientific experiment, and add one variable. It's very important when you do a scientific experiment that you keep all the variables the same except for one. Just the one variable.
You didn't change.
You keep it all the same.
Everyone.
Just the one.
Did you do that?
No, I didn't. I didn't do that.
Would you leave out the water?
No. Yeah, here we go. No, what I wanted to do was to take the same beer and add 90 Lovibond Crystal, which is a specialty malt. It is designed to add a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of body, some color, some flavor. So I got the mash going, and I went down to the basement to get my Cascade hops, and I didn't have any Cascade hops. So what I did have was Simcoe hops.
Well,
so I could have left that alone, but I said, well, you know, these Simcoes smell pretty good. I'm going to move some to the end of the boil.
you can't resist.
So I changed two variables. I added the specialty grain, and I changed the hopping rate. But since the process is the same, what I did was I was lazy, and I'm going to use file footage of you brewing the previous beer to show the process.
I got some home movies of me in band in high school. You want to just throw those in?
Sure. Okay, so here we go. You take 3 quarts or 2.8 liters of water at 161 degrees Fahrenheit or 74 C. And to that, I added 2 pounds or 907 grams of 2-row and 3 ounces or 84 grams of 90 Lovibond Crystal.
And did you make your own Lovibond Crystal?
No, I did not. Okay. Store-bought.
Store-bought.
So that brought us to a breast temperature of 148 degrees Fahrenheit or 64 C, which I held for an hour. And then while that was resting, I heated 4 quarts or 3.8 liters of water to 170 degrees Fahrenheit or 77 C. And then I sparged, as you see Steve sparging the grains. You know, we took a ladle, transferred the grain into a colander, and then sparged that water over it and collected the wort. And started the boil and added 4 grams of Simcoe at 60 minutes, 4 grams of Simcoe at 10 minutes, and 4 grams of Simcoe at flame out. So we moved the hops more toward the end of the boil. So I predict that we will get more hop flavor and aroma than we have in this beer, although it's the same amount. I think this is 13% alpha acids on this one, so I think the alpha acids is higher than the Cascade was.
Oh yeah.
But after the boil, I chilled the wort down in an ice bath and pitched 2 grams of Safale USO5. And this is what we came up with. It's fermenting. It's been in there for, 2 days.
Yeah.
You can see the little bubbles going. You can see the wonderful frothy krausen on the top there.
High krausen.
And that's a living thing right there. So I got a couple of questions. People asking, you know, the sachet or the packet of yeast is like, what, 11.5, 10 or 11.5 grams of yeast. And they were asking, what do you do with the rest of it? Well, what I did was I just folded that packet down, and then I used, I've got one of those vacuum sealer food thingies. You know, you put it in a bag and you suck the air out and you seal it. and I put it back in the fridge. And fingers crossed,
It should be all right.
seems to be working.
Yeah.
Smells good coming out of the airlock. Smells like Simcoe hops.
Boy, it does.
So that's your challenge. That's the recipe of next month.
Except you can change 3 variables.
So do exactly as we did, only different. So, but the thing is, you can add, if you like I also had Citra hops and Mosaic hops and another that I'm not remembering. Amarillo I also had. But to me, the Simcoe sounded like a fun thing to do. So just make a nice hoppy pale ale based on this recipe.
So you're basically just taking Jack McCullough's recipe and you're just starting to tweak it.
Tweaking Jack McAuliffe.
That's a novel. I think it's a bestseller.
Now in paperback. So there you go. There's the beer. And we will come back in a month. And I've already got some ideas on what the next one's going to be. So if you've got some ideas on what you want to do a small batch of, drop us a line. Let us know.
Yep.
Until then, we'll talk to you next time. Happy brewing.
Happy brewing.
Cheers.
Come and visit us on the web at basicbrewing.com. You can find archive lists of both our audio and video podcasts on home brewing. You can also find our DVDs, Extract Brewing and Partial Mashing, Stepping into All Grain, Low-Tech Lagering and Decoction Mashing, Introduction to Wine Kits, and our Basic Brewing Brewer's Logbook, where you can track and log up to 50 batches of beer. Drop us a line. We'd love to hear from you. Write to James at basicbrewing.com, Steve at basicbrewing.com, or just use the contact form on basicbrewing.com.
Peck a little?
It was like pick your ladle or pick up your ladle. It's in the footage.
Paint your wagon.
Hey, they call the wind Mariah.
I'm lost.
I am too.